More like Terminator woke fate. So it looks like Terminator faced a pretty dark fate at the box office this weekend. And yeah, it's not looking too good for Paramount right now. However, in this video I wanted to discuss something that I've been seeing on the rounds, something that I've been seeing on the Twitters, on the YouTubes. I've been seeing this notion that the reason why Terminator Dark Fate bombed at the box office is because of its wokeness. That's just silly. That is just really, really silly. So, first of all, the reason, I mean, look, like, I guess people say that it bombed because now, like, it's a female Terminator, when, like, first of all, and by the way, I just want to say that I actually haven't seen Terminator Dark Fate, so I guess you could say I'm unqualified, I guess, to talk about the topic, but I can talk about why it bombed. Like, you don't necessarily have to have seen the movie to discuss this. In fact, I haven't seen a Terminator movie since Terminator 2. I think because when I was a kid, I watched like Terminator 1 and 2 like on FX, I think, and then like I think they like it was like a Terminator marathon or something, and I was gonna watch the third one, but I don't know, for some reason, whatever kid reason I had, I just didn't. Better watch it. And like I watched like maybe 10 minutes of Salvation at some point after that, and I was just like, nah. Yeah, I just didn't. So I've only seen the first two Terminator movies. I might watch this one at some point. I don't know. Because it's like I watched the first two when I was a kid, and they're great, but like I haven't seen any of them, and like I have no real desire to go see the third or the fourth one, because everybody says they're terrible. I mean, but anyways, whatever. Who? That's not even really the point of this video. But the point of this video is that Terminator Dark Fate isn't doing terribly because it's not because of its wokeness. It's because of just the fact that, you know, critically speaking, and and fan speaking. I don't even know what I'm saying. Like they just haven't been very good up to this point, or I should say they haven't been well received up to this point ever since Terminator 2. So when you have enough flops, not necessarily at the box office, but when you have enough flops critically, you're gonna get to a point where you're not gonna make as much money. You know, like it doesn't really have anything to do with the wokeness. Like I guess like the movie deals with like immigrant, like it deals with like immigration or something, and it's like pretty left wing in that sense. But like you're not really gonna know that until you go see the movie, right? So people would have had to like given the movie a chance, and then maybe have been like, oh, the wokeness of this movie bothers me very much. I do not like the wokeness. Like, they would have had to actually gone out and seen the movie for them to really feel that way. And if you want to say that, like, people are bothered by the fact that there's a female Terminator, I don't know why that would bother people, because I'm pretty sure there was a female Terminator in the third one, and they've had, like, a female lead, I think, aside the entire franchise. Except for Salvation, I think that's the only one where there was a pasty white dude in the lead, and that one didn't do all that great either. So it's just that's a reason. And I mean, just look at other movies that have come out. Like why didn't Captain Marvel flop if people are getting sick of, you know, female leads being shoved into movies? Why didn't Captain Marvel flop? The movie made $1 billion at the box office. So clearly, not only did people go watch it, they liked it enough that they went to go see it again and again and again, and got the movie to $1 billion. You know, why didn't Wonder Woman flop? Well, yeah, well, why didn't that movie flop? Like, why didn't Suicide Squad flop. That movie was awful, and I would argue that Harley Quinn, maybe she wasn't the lead. I would say it was kind of a mix between her and Will Smith, maybe, but she's definitely one of the leads, I would say. And at least the marketing relied heavily on Harley Quinn being in the movie. So I don't understand where this comes from. And I mean, look at Star Wars, right? Like Star Wars: The Force Awakens comes out, has a female lead. A bunch of people went to go see it, right? Rogue One comes out. It's a side movie. Female lead. Still made over $1 billion at the box office. And then you look at The Last Jedi. Oh, wait. The Last Jedi made less than The Force Awakens. Oh no. Could it be? They shouldn't have female leads in Star Wars movies. Was I wrong? Should they only be those with schlongs? But wait, what is that bright white light in the distance that I see? Is it a straight white male lead in a Star Wars movie? Alden Ehrenreich, he is here to fight the fight. Yes, 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 this is the way. The whites are here to save the day. Oh, wait, solo flop? Oh, shit. But seriously, a goofy musical number thing that I randomly interjected there aside, if, like, fans were so sick of having, you know, female leads or wokeness shoved down your throat, why didn't Solo succeed? In fact, why has it been, like, the lowest grossing Star Wars movie in this new Star Wars line of Star Wars movies? Like, I don't understand how, like, I mean, this airtight logic of fans being sick of wokeness and female leads. What happened with Star Wars? What happened? I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Why didn't they go support this movie? Oh wait, maybe it's because that's literally the dumbest line of reasoning that I've seen in my entire life. I mean, I would argue that there are a plethora of reasons why Solo didn't succeed. One, it didn't really look all that compelling. Like, I didn't think the trailers were very good, and I just don't think there was much hype around it. Two, Star Wars, The Force Awakens. I mean, it wasn't. People generally were like, yeah, this is pretty good. Rogue One was like, yeah, this is pretty good. But The Last Jedi was incredibly divisive. People either love or hate that movie. It feels like there's almost no in-between on that movie. So, I mean, and you know, people are I mean, honestly, like, the sentiments around the Disney Star Wars movies, it's just divisive. So, there's just a lot of negativity around Star Wars. So, it just makes perfect sense why a movie like Solo can come out and just end up being a casualty in all of this. But, I mean, yeah, just, like that's but honestly, getting back to Terminator, right? It's not because there's, like, now a female Terminator, and it's not because it's too woke. It's because fans have been disappointed by, like, every single Terminator outing since Terminator 2. So it's just like, it just makes perfect sense that after being disappointed for like 20 years, that then, you know, it's going to reach a breaking point where they're just not going to come out. I mean, the same thing happened with Transformers, right? Like, the Transformers movies have been awful. But, you know, I guess, I mean, people just love Transformers and they want a good Transformers movie. So it makes perfect sense that that they would keep on wanting to support it, but it just got to a point where fans were like, yeah, I'm just not going to go watch these movies anymore. So that's why Bumblebee wasn't all that successful. So, look, that's the main thing I want to get out of this. It's not because of the wokeness. Like, honestly, I don't think that, like, the general movie-going audience cares about that stuff. Like, I don't really think the general movie-going audience is going to see, like, a female-led film and go, yes! A female-led film? This is so righteous. I am so happy that there's a female lead in this film. But at the same time, I don't think they're going like, oh my god, I'm so sick of all these female-led films. They're just shoving all this SJW garbage down our throats. I don't think they think like that. Like, I think they're just like, oh, it's another Marvel movie. Oh, it's another Star Wars movie. Oh, it's another Terminator movie. So they're either gonna, or like, oh, it's another Transformers movie. Like, I just think they're gonna go watch a movie. Generally, like, the only thing that's gonna, like, for sure make people go out and watch a movie is if they're already invested in the franchise, right? So, if they're, like, these people are already invested in Marvel, right? So, if a Captain Marvel movie comes out, they're gonna be more inclined to come out and watch it because it's Marvel. You know, if they're not necessarily as invested anymore in the Terminator franchise, then, you know, there's a good chance they're not going to come out and support Terminator anymore. If they're not necessarily as invested anymore in the Transformers franchise, then yeah, there's a good chance they're not going to come out and support the next Transformers movie. If they're not as invested anymore in Star Wars, or, you know, if they were disappointed by the last one, then yeah, it kind of makes sense that they're not necessarily going to be as inclined to come and see, like, this weird side movie, Solo. You know, a Han Solo movie that's not even played by Harrison Ford. Like, it's just... Can we just, like, stop with all this nonsense about, like, Hollywood being woke? Or, like, Hollywood having an agenda or whatever? Like, you know, honestly, do you honestly want to know Hollywood's agenda? It's to make money. It's literally it. Like, that is literally their agenda. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure, like, specific directors or, you know, or writers, maybe, they might have their own political beliefs, but, like, the producers and the executives, they just want to do what's going to make them money. And I think if they see now that, you know, putting a female lead in your movie isn't necessarily gonna, like, destroy your movie, or, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that people aren't going to come out and see your movie, then I think they're seeing now that, like, say a writer or a director wants to put a female lead in their movie, they're not going to, like, oppose to it necessarily. So, I don't know. You know, it's just so dumb. This line of thinking is just so dumb. I don't know. It's just stupid. You know, the world that we live in is stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had, like, I went through my phase, where, like, my edgy phase, where, you know, I was annoyed by, you know, I thought that everything in Hollywood or whatever was, like, woke garbage or whatever. You know, I went through my phase where I was like, ugh, all these SJWs or whatever. And I mean, I even, like, even recently, I made a video about Joker where I was like, ugh, why is everyone so offended or whatever, blah blah. But it's just like, who cares? Who cares? Just like, just try and think logically and stop trying to, like, because honestly, like, the people that complain about the wokeness of Terminator Dark Fate, it's not that the directors have an agenda. It's most likely that you have some kind of agenda. Whether it be that you're genuinely upset about, you know, the wokeness of Terminator Dark Fate, or you just know that talking about it being woke, and contriving reasons why it is woke, and, like, why its wokeness led to its demise, you probably know that that's going to get you clicks. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say on the topic. Bye.